At Your Command by the Dead Canary. I think when most normal people think of the internet, they're thinking about social media, online shopping, news, porn. People lately are talking a lot about the dark web, a place of untamed wilderness where gangsters are selling guns, using Bitcoin to do untraceable transfers to build a criminal enterprise. But somewhere in between, there are places that straddle that fine line between the illegal and what anyone can find with a wayward Google search. And that is how I found Diamondback. Dimindbak. Yeah, that's how it's spelled. So, that's how he spells it. Or she. Actually, I assumed he, but I'm not sure. Diamondback uses a voice changer whenever he goes on the air. Yes, on the air. Diamondback is always on those weird late-night radio shows. The really late stuff. That it's airing right before people are getting up for work. And it is all about alien conspiracies and the reptilians. If you don't know what reptilians is, look it up. Hours of fun. Seriously. But the only reason I even know anything about Diamondback is because a friend of mine. My friend was in a car accident a while back. She was at a red light, and some teenager with a permit didn't hit the brakes soon enough. Now, the cars were mildly damaged, but my friend actually got whiplash, like real whiplash. Didn't go see a doctor, and, well, she gets these chronic neck and back pains. Sometimes to the point where she has to stay in bed all day. Now, at first, she just did Tylenol. And, well, it was Tylenol. And then she did all this holistic stuff. And, well, it was holistic stuff. So yeah, nothing was working. But one day her pain was so bad, she calls me up crying. She doesn't know what to do. Now I'm gonna be a good friend. I go to look something up, and pretty much all I could find was vitamin dealers, herbal supplements, and teas. Or some weed dealers. So on a whim, I look up physical intervention. Thought maybe it'd lead to, like, a chiropractor or something like that. Like the weird chiropractors with crystals and patchouli. Instead, I came across Diamondback. You might now be picturing a website full of dark symbology, mystic runes, weird rituals. But Diamondback was none of these things. The whole site looked like fan fiction devoted to Star Trek. Rotating GIFs left over from the 90s. Cluttered pages like a back alley full of wooden pallets. The color scheme was all pseudo-futuristic. A lot of metallic whites and grays. It was quite hilarious. I spent the better part of the day reading over the blog postings as he rambles on about distant galaxies, contact with higher beings, and how positivity can make all your dreams come true. So, yeah, I'm cynical about it, and I'm laughing. But if you saw it, you'd cut me a little slack, alright? But this person has a whole team of devotees. He actually had a forum where people could talk about their own connections to a higher power. And they didn't look like they were trolling posts. But the big kicker was when I read about the Command. In one of his most recent posts, he talked about a method by which these higher beings could fix everything wrong with you. Some kind of code phrase, you speak it 3 times out loud, or in your mind, and these benevolent beings would be able to gain control of your central nervous system and just correct all of your ills. And so, alright, I sent the link to my friend. I'm thinking, maybe she'll read it and get a laugh out of it, feel a little better, and go to an actual real doctor. And the next day, she messages me back. "Thank you so much, it worked. I'm feeling so much better." It worked. Sure. Alright, I couldn't believe it. So, I'm gonna go see for myself. I drive over to her place. And honestly, it was the first time since the accident I saw her with a smile on her face. Like, a real smile. And she said she hadn't slept that well since the accident. Now, she wasn't completely sold it was aliens from another galaxy, but whatever it was, it worked. Something fixed her. It wasn't even like the phrase itself was like a self-help mantra or like daily affirmations. It was really just gibberish. But she said something about it was special. So I saw on her Facebook, she created a new group, Healing Through Command. At least 15 people signed up for it. Like, she was spreading the word to other people. Alright, whatever. Fuck it. If it works, then it works. Whatever makes people happy. But me, I have an actual life to live. So I go on with my normal day. But I do keep checking back in, because it's kind of funny. And eventually, her group reached 1,300 people. So I ask her, I mean, what the hell's going on with all this? And she's like, "It's so great. I have no more pain. I'm so glad you found it. It's so helpful." Yeah, I see your Facebook group is really getting big too. What Facebook group? Your one about Healing Through Command. What are you talking about? I haven't been on Facebook in months. Oh. Well, then somebody must have hacked your account, because you got 1,300. Oh, no, wait. Holy shit, you have over 2,000 members. Can I call you back? Yeah, sure. Whatever, I'm honestly just glad that she's feeling better. And I don't hear from her for a while, but I'm amazed because I keep checking back on her Facebook. And all these people are just talking about how great it is and how much it works. And okay, alright. People are talking about how their gout went away, migraines disappeared. Hell, one person even said they don't need a wheelchair anymore. Honestly, even with my cynical heart, I was just happy to see so much good being spread by so many people. I don't care how they're doing it, people are happy. Well, months go by and it's almost time for the holidays to start, the Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. You got that big run-up of holidays. So I give my friend a call. She doesn't pick up. I try 3 more times. And nothing. Alright. So I drive over to her place. Thinking, you know what, maybe she's just out for a jog or living her awesome life and just too busy. Ring on her doorbell and no answer. Alright. Good for her, actually getting out of the house. And just as I'm about to turn around and get back in my car, I hear a crash from inside. I knock on the door loudly this time, and the door opens a little bit. I open the door, and I call out for her. Hey, are you alright? Go away! The way she screamed, it took me back. I almost left, but there was something wrong. I can't just leave her. Her scream had come from the kitchen, so I go into the kitchen. She's holding a knife covered in blood. And there's a body on the floor. There's a man's body on the floor. It's her ex-boyfriend, Sam. He'd stopped seeing her after the accident. I don't know, something about she couldn't go out anymore, he just wasn't ready for whatever. He was a dick. And now he's laying on the floor, bleeding out of his neck. I told you to go. I don't have much time. Every day they have me a little more and more. What the fuck are you talking about? And then her eyes glazed over. Her mouth forced itself into a smile. She lifted the knife and pointed at me. Slow, shaking. Why, hello. Good to see you. I'm afraid I'm busy right now. You should go. Her head ticked back and forth like a clockwork figure. If you ever watched that movie, The Great Mouse Detective, it was kind of like the robot. But, then she moves forward, and I'm afraid she's going to stab me. I raise an arm to defend myself and knock her hand away. But she was fast. And she comes at me again. I grab her wrist. And she was strong. Then her mouth dropped its smile. And she's pushing the knife closer and closer. You have to do it. I've tried. They won't let me harm myself. It took me a moment to realize what she meant. And I can't ever forgive myself for what I did. But I twisted the knife around and pushed it towards her, and the knife went directly into her chest. And now I'm sitting there in the kitchen with two bodies on the floor. I cried. And then I called the police. I knew they wouldn't believe me, but I didn't care. I then looked around her home. I needed some explanation. What the fuck is going on? And I found it in the basement. Set up in the middle of an open, unfinished space was a door frame. It looked like she was installing a new room in there, but no walls, no hinges, just a door frame. The only thing out of place about it was an electronics box attached to the side of the frame and a keypad on it. But no letters, no numbers, all the keys were blank. I go to her bedroom. I found some papers, and most of them were like note paper with symbols, and other papers were detailed drawings of the door, the thing she had in the basement, and an electrical diagram. I didn't know what it meant. I'm not an electrician, but even I know some of the stuff on there was weird. I don't know, like it was from another world. And then there were the last few pages. Notes in my friend's handwriting. What is all of this? I keep finding these when I wake up. I don't remember this. Oh God, I think I killed a cat. It's on my clothesline in the backyard. I woke up in the basement and I was standing at that keypad. What was I trying to type in? I can't remember. Those were the most comprehensible things written. But there was some pretty bad stuff. And some of the handwriting on these pages were different from my friend's handwriting. I went into the basement and I smashed the door to pieces. I don't know if it helped anything. I just wonder if everyone on our Facebook group is doing the same thing. It's up to 53,000 now.